Good afternoon and welcome to Pickett, Wisconsin on October 17th. It is a beautiful day, although it is extremely windy. So I'm hoping that you can hear me, even though I've got a really pretty nice wind muff on my microphone. The engine I'm going to run today, or at least attempt to run, is one that came in the box of engines from Kirk. This is the MAX H60 engine. Now, I did a quick run on this thing in my garage the other day, and it does start, it does run, but I think there may be some issues with this carburetor. And I'll put a picture up of what I'm about to talk about. Now, this is a number 72 carb. It fits this engine, but I'm not really sure if this engine if this carb is the right carb for this engine or not, because all the reviews I've seen showed like an air bleed carb or something like that, but I don't know. All I know is it has a high and a low speed, or at least was supposed to be a low speed needle, but it looks like somebody ground that off, or it broke off or something, so there's no way for me to make any low speed adjustments on this whatsoever. In fact, I think I remember the idle being way too high also. But the engine does start and run. I've got a 12.6 APC prop here. The bearings feel really horrible in this thing. It's really old. I've got the plug that's in here, I believe came in this, and it looks like a pretty decent plug. It looks like a K&B idle bar plug, and it glowed, so I just left it in and said the heck with it, I'm just going to run with that. And then I've got some 5% fuel here, so let's fire this old engine up and see how well it wants to run today. That's interesting. I don't know what might have happened there. Let's fire it up again and see what goes on. May just be blowing a bunch of snot out of its belly here. So it's strange, I saw a whole bunch of fuel spraying up out of here, so it's like, it seems like it wants to start running, but then it just gets too rich, and that might be a factor of this carb. So I just completely closed this high-speed needle. I'm going to go 1, 2 turns from fully closed and try this again. It's spewing out a bunch of black gunk all over me. That was interesting. I've never seen that before. Do you see that jet of something? So it seems weird that it's running fine while the igniter's on there, but as soon as I take it off, it starts doing strange stuff here. Clearly this engine is not super healthy. What was I going to do? I shut it off for a reason. I can't remember what the reason was now. Well, bearings are horrible in this thing for sure. I can't recall. It's just hotter than hell. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to open this up so that we could try and get a little bit lower idle. Okay. Maybe a different plug, but I don't really know that a plug is going to help this thing. I think it's just kind of tired. It's just kind of tired. Okay, so there's your run for this old OS engine, and it's sounding and operating its age. Which isn't saying much because it's probably about as old as I am, but I think I'm operating a lot better than that engine is. But it runs, and actually it idles better than it sets at high speed. So, I mean, there's issues with it. Maybe it could use it, and I do believe that when I had the exhaust off, I believe this is a ringed engine. I don't think it's an iron piston deal, so I'm pretty sure it's a ringed engine. So, I mean, this front, there's just fuel coming out of this front bearing. That's just raw fuel. So there's just some real issues with this older engine, which, you know, that's to be expected. It's probably very well used. It still runs, and this may be a good candidate for me to disassemble, refurbish, clean up over the winter, and try to see if I can come up with whether this is actually the right carb or not. Despite the weird thing with the low-speed mixture, it seems like it's pretty good as long as you don't really try to transition it too fast. But I mean, hey, it's an old OS engine and it runs still, so what more can you say about that? Hope you enjoyed the run.